I think there's a lot of nervousness around Paris and its readiness for the Olympics with only a month to go. I think that mainly because of the extravagant plans that there are for, especially for the opening ceremony, which is going to take place down the River Seine, which is obviously a massive security operation. So I think that they're beginning to get everything into place, but the proof is going to be in the pudding of how it's all delivered.
Right.
In a month's time.
So let's break it all down a little bit. Let's start with security. France is still recruiting security personnel at the moment. I mean, are there going to be any kinds of plan Bs if there are any terrorist threats, for example, for that big opening ceremony, which will be the first to be held outside of a stadium?
Well, I don't think there's any particular plan Bs, but there's going to be 45,000 police and other security personnel who are going to be enlisted in Paris on the day. The athletes are going to be going down the River Seine for six kilometers, and so you can imagine how much of an area that is going to have to be covered by security forces. And there's going to be certain zones around the river that are going to be kicking in from July the 18th, which is 8 days beforehand. So clearly, it's going to be a massive operation, and we'll have to see how it all goes because that there's been a couple of threats last month, as I'm sure you reported on at the Saint-Étienne Stadium. They foiled a potential terrorist plot. So France is on high alert for the Olympics. Obviously, it's a massive global event that is potentially going to be targeted by people. So let's see how ready they are.
Right. And in addition, of course, to all the security worries, there's another big question about the Seine itself, not just meant to host this opening ceremony, but also meant to host swimming events. The issue has been not just is it clean enough, but also the fact that there's been so much rain in Paris recently. I mean, what would happen to events like the triathlon or open water swimming if they cannot get into the Seine?
Yeah, I think this is one particular aspect of the Olympics that's really caught people's attention because really grand plans to have this open water swimming in the Seine and the triathlon, and they spent billions of euros on trying to clean it up. And as it stands, I think the latest tests it's really not ready at all. The Paris mayor Anne Hidalgo was supposed to be going for a swim a couple of days ago, I think it was, and now she's delayed that for a few weeks until just before the Olympics are due to start. And so, in the case of the triathlon, I think that there are plans to make it into just a biathlon, which would just be cycling and running, which would obviously be a real shame for the competitors because swimming is a very important part of the triathlon. So they really are under a lot of pressure. It's a massive task to clean up such an old ancient river that's so many people live around and so much pollution in there. Let's see whether they manage to do it, but I think at this stage it's looking pretty unlikely.